Well, completely overwhelming. As I mentioned when I spoke briefly, which in itself was traumatic, the last award I think I had was a school medal for elocution, and I've avoided any kind of public speaking or anything like that since. It means a huge amount because it's recognition for something that has inspired me to take on a second career, because I had a very long career in the oil and gas industry. And somehow, every day, we find the energy to get a phenomenal amount done, and it's impacted the lives of thousands of people around the world.
Please, can you give us a bit more information? What do you...
Absolutely. When I first started working for Jane Goodall back in the early 1990s, we had 3 or 4 institutes, and she was only just beginning what is now our global youth program. And the growth that I have seen in the last 34 years or so is phenomenal. We now have 25 Jane Goodall Institutes, completely transforming the lives of the people who are living in the areas around where we work in Africa. Community-led conservation, so that the community is empowered to improve its life, its health, welfare, its education, and it's been totally transformative and is recognised as the best of its kind in Africa. For me, one of the other very exciting things is that at that time Jane Goodall began her Roots and Shoots program. And a lot of people just assume that that's planting trees or something, but actually you have to get involved in 3 projects which the young people themselves decide are important to them. 1 for the local community, 1 for animals, including domestic animals, and 1 for the environment. And obviously what the young people decide on depends whether you're in rural China or inner city New York. And we've certainly met young people in many parts of the world who've never held a whole piece of fruit, don't know where potatoes come from, didn't know what a rabbit was. And this goes from preschool through college, and it is really producing not just brilliant young leaders, but giving hope to young people who may not grow up to be the world's best footballer or a fashion model or director of an important company, but they can still have the skills to enable them to be wonderful members of their community, mothers, and to do their job well, whether they're a waiter in Paris or member of the government in Tanzania. And I think that watching the transformation over the last 30 plus years with the Roots and Shoots program, for me, is the most important thing. And somehow it gives us energy to keep going, because I should have retired at least 20 years ago.
It sounds like you're just getting started.
Yes, I'm running out of steam, but Jane's 90 this year, and she's still going, and I've got to try and keep pace with her.
Oh, that's fabulous. So we're here, it's International Women's Day. We're in the Houses of Parliament. We've got these extraordinary women already unleashed. What is your hope? What can we do with this beautiful, supportive, feminine energy towards a better world?
I think the power of working together, for me, is one of the most important things. I love people, and you never know when you reach out and talk to somebody what you're going to learn about them. And it doesn't matter whether it's the person sitting next to you on the bus or somebody in an airport, my sisters are driven mad by me because I'm always talking to people, and they don't quite understand that. But we can share so much. We can share each other's energies. We can support each other when we're having bad days. But also the ideas that are generated when men and women come together and you brainstorm. And someone says, well, I'm really worried. My campaign has totally failed. Everything's going wrong. We've got no revenue. And somebody in the room will know exactly how to change things. And together we can make a world of difference.
Beautiful. I love how you say men and women coming together.
I love working with men, and I've worked with many men in the oil business, but I also love working with women, but not just exclusively women. You know, we need the balance. We need the balance. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's so inspiring. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
A longer life.
Yes, we want you here.
Oh my goodness, well, it's easy to say something trite like end world poverty or whatever, but I would like more young people today around the world to have hope, to be inspired by often the elders, to learn the wisdom of the elders, but also to break down those barriers so that the younger people can learn from their grandparents and their great-grandparents. And there's this mutual respect. And I think the more we reach out to each other, care for each other, and I loved what somebody said tonight, the kindness. It doesn't take much to change somebody's day. And by small acts of kindness, we can change this world as it is today, which is quite ghastly and needs a lot of help.
Wow, and I love particularly what you said about hope, because sometimes I think we can lose hope. We see too much news, we see the stats, and just our conversation has given me hope. What would be your top thing that gives you hope and can give others hope?
This time of the year, it's spring. I think being able to be outdoors and connect with nature. I think I had a really bad day last week when everything was going wrong, and I suddenly realised I was possibly going to say something unkind to somebody, so I left the house and went for a walk, and I was at that time in Stromness by the sea, and that was magic. And Curlew was calling, and then I went back, and the whole day was different. So I think if any of us, wherever our bit of outdoors, can get outside and just change direction, it helps.